Hello, everyone, and welcome into another Thursday night. It is the Cocktail Lounge. It is not doubling down. Colin Sheehan done came in here and changed my intro, and I didn't check it, so I apologize for that. But yes, it's Thursday night, the Cocktail Lounge, 48 hours from the Preakness Stakes, and we have 8 races at Churchill Downs. The second race just completed, coming on a few minutes late here. I let that race go ahead and go official just before we jumped in. So we've still got races 3 through 8. So that'll give us 6 good races to go through here on the night. Some pretty decent field sizes and looks like some decent races, probably some opportunities to catch a price, especially if that last race is any indication. The 3 to 5 favorite runs off the board. So big payouts all around in the last race. Let's see if we can keep that going tonight for sure. If you're in the chat, make sure it looks like 10 joining right now. We'll get everybody in here as usual. Should have all the usuals. It's a little bit earlier. We normally go on at 6 for the Cocktail Lounge, but Churchill runs a little bit earlier. They call it their Twilight Thursday card, so it's not true night racing. But gives us an opportunity to kind of attack a little bit of a different track here. Normally we would be back to Woodbine, but they've kind of changed things up with how they're going to run their Thursday cards as well. And they're running more of an afternoon race. So we'll see how things go moving forward. If Churchill continues to run Twilights, I think everybody likes Churchill and the opportunity to bet that track for sure. So let us know what you think. If there's any tracks you would like to see us maybe attack on a Thursday night, anything considered except for Chucktown. We don't do Chucktown. What's up, Uncle Sully? It's just you and me, buddy. We're just going to sit here and talk to each other all night, and at least until everybody else shows up. I'm sure I'll have the other prophets joining us. They get home just a few minutes later. From work, I came in and ran to get on here so that we can get things started, get it rolling. Was hoping to get here in time for race 2. I did have that 8 underneath. I didn't have the 3 on top. I didn't have the 6, but I had the 3 and the 8 underneath. I thought the 4 would be in there somewhere. So we'll look at maybe tossing some favorites and making some wagers in the future, because that thing could have been had and paid pretty well if you do that. We'll see how it goes. What's up, George? Welcome in another Thursday night in the Cocktail Lounge. Prairie Meadows. Yeah, okay. We'll do dog racing next. No, we'll find something to do. Hey, Stephanie, welcome in. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you give us a like and a follow. Got a new episode of Doubling Down, as I mentioned, that with the intro there that just came out, and mostly looking towards everything that we're doing right now. Should have another video. I think we're going to do a roundtable discussion that'll come out tomorrow for the Preakness Stakes, kind of like we did with the Kentucky Derby, where we went through the field. And if you watch that one, you had a good chance of hitting some decent payouts in that race. We did give away the Superfecta on air when we were betting and wagering live that night. Let's see if we can do something that exciting tonight. That would work for me. Where are all the usuals at, Sully? Normally Bobby D's in here by now. Starting to pick up. We're up to 29 viewers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the third race coming up here. Again, we're at Churchill Downs tonight. We've got 15 minutes to post. We'll go ahead, kind of take a look at it. We're going to be on the turf this race. We're going to do a turf sprint, 5 furlongs, maiden special weight, 120,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And I do have a horse in here that I like at a little bit of a price. So we'll see if we can get that one home. What's up, Rick? But That horse I kind of like at a price is the first time starter number 6, Party Pauline. If you watched Luan in that last race as I did, Luan's been riding pretty well. Uh, he's mostly underneath with all his finishes in 44 races. He's underneath 11 times. He's only got the one win, but I like this Into Mischief filly. And the one thing, as much as anything that I like in here is it's 3-year-olds and up, and she's the only 4-year-old in here. So I like the older filly taking on the little 3-year-olds here. So we'll see if we can catch a little bit of a price. If you look at some of those works, particularly that bullet at Oakland there on the 18th of April, handily from the gate, 47-2, best of 47 for the day. So we'll see if we can catch a bit of a price with that one. I did notice one thing I like to look at is with the first-time starters, and I've talked about this on other episodes of the Lounge, but I like to look at how the dam does. We all know the sires pretty well, but this dam has had 2 first-time starters before this one, and both of them have finished second. So she's 2 for 2 in the money with 2 second-place finishes. Because I don't really like anybody else in here a ton, I'm going to give her a chance on top, but I'll be playing her somehow underneath as well because things kind of point that way. They do point that way. So my second pick in here is a horse that I think has a big shot, and that's the 10 Sycamore Shoals. Sycamore Shoals 7-2 on the morning line here. Gets Ben Curtis up for Brendan Walsh, and as we all know, Tyler is still injured and won't be riding until sometime this summer. Hopefully he's back. But I would imagine this would be a horse that Tyler would pick up. And we all know that he's normally in the running for leading jockeys. So just kind of gives you an idea of the kind of horses that he rides. So this is probably one of those. And this particular filly for Brendan Walsh has had a few races after the first 2 maidens where she finished in the money both times, first time out at Keeneland and then at Churchill. She did go into a stakes race at the fairgrounds where she finished just off the board in 4th position behind Simply Joking. And we all know Simply Joking, of course, running in the Oaks most recently. So did not do as well as I think many had anticipated and hoped for her. But she did come out of that stakes race and win the Silver Bullet Day, came back for a second place in the fantasy, the grade 2 fantasy. So Sycamore Shoals, I think, has been running against some better fillies. So she does have her last 2 races on the turf. And if you look at the rest of the field, she's the only one. She's the only one that's run on the surface. So definitely something to consider there. The 7 is another first-time starter at a price that I think you might want to consider a little bit. Joe Sharp, Jose Ortiz, the connections alone say that this one needs to be considered. They hit when they're together at about 31% overall with a positive ROI of 214. So if you bet $2 on every horse that they run together, you would have 214 back, even with just the 31%. So something to consider. Looking at the board right now, the favorite in here is the 5. I do have the 5 next at 4th. BJ Hernandez getting up for Cherie DeVoe. But Cherie's running a little bit better here at Churchill than she did at Keeneland. Horses are seeming to run a little bit better, but I wasn't convinced that this one wants the turf. So we will see for sure. Turf sprinters out of not this time have done okay, 16% as an overall average, but yeah, definitely one to consider. I think it's more of an underneath play for me. I really like 6 and 10, 10 and 6. Those are the 2 I like up top. But then we'll give the rest a shot. The 2's another one here that's taking money. This one off a 5-1 morning line is down to 7-2 currently. I looked at the 2, Philip Bauer getting Martin Garcia up. I see that last work breezing from the gate, that 27 April 59, but those are all in the dirt. There are some fast times there, but I'm going to take a wait and see approach and try to beat this one, get it underneath. What's everybody think? What's up, Ron? Let's get some cash for sure. Wish we had cashed in that last one. 3-5 favorite off the board in the last race, if you call it that one. Was anybody on? Did anybody bet that? Anybody cash? Post it in the chat here. Thoughts about the 8? You know, there are a lot of with all the first time starters in here, Uncle Sully, I kind of went through the thing about the 8. I do like that's a positive. The dam stat that I was talking about that I always like to look at. She's had 8 first time starters. Does have a first and 2 seconds out of all of those. One of those you guys may know, Ag Bullet, Silver Bullet, if you will, but that horse is well known for sure. Won $1,300,000. So that is out of the same mare. That one was sired by Twirling Candy. This is a Classic Empire, but a half to the $1 million winner there. So definitely something to consider. Definitely something to think about for sure. But I like the 10 a lot as well. Besides what I talked about this being a Brendan Walsh horse that we would probably see Tyler on if he was riding. Ben Curtis is riding his butt off. You keep hearing me talk about it. I really like this guy and how he rides. So he, out of 30 mounts, he's got 5 firsts and 5 seconds. So pretty solid. 30% of the time he's in the exacta. That's pretty darn good odds. We'll take that and see if we can cash on Ben here, especially if he stays at 6-1. So we will see. Looks like Bucky is calling them to the track here. We'll take a look as they come out on the track. The number 1 horse, Sophie Doyle, getting up on this one, 41-1. There is the 2 that we talked about, Claire's Run. Martine Garcia up on the mount on that one. The 3 horse, She Wants War. Gerardo Corrales. Wesley Ward. 8-1, kind of lukewarm for a Wesley Ward maiden. Christian Torres up on the 4. Bougie Beach. 20-1. If you like her. There is your 3-1 favorite. That's pretty lukewarm favoritism. Yeah, there's 12 horses, a maiden race, 3-1 on the favorite. So if you like this one, you're definitely getting a price. There is the 6, and not because I picked this horse on top, but if you're watching, look at that horse on the track. I think she looks great. We're going to take a shot with that one for sure. Jose Ortiz up on the 7. Running game, 17-1 for Jose. There's the 8, Gray Matter. Gets Luis Saez up. He won the last race. 10-1, going for the back-to-back double here. Edgar Morales up on the 9. 45-1 if you like Divine Wind for Rusty Arnold. There is the 10, Sycamore Shoals. 6-1, I think, is a really good price for this one. Ben Curtis in the saddle. Been riding really well. The 11 is Forbidden Friend. That's Jaime Torres. 31-1. And rounding out the field is your 7-2 second choice. That's Something Stronger for Jimmy Graham. Did you have it though, Curtis? That's the question. Claimer at Gulfstream paid $236 to win. That's the ones you'll be happy having 2 to win on it. Oh, you're probably happy having 2 to show on that one. Oh, running through it again. Take a quick look at it's so hard to try to picture a pace scenario when you've got so many first time starters in here. Debt free, the last time out, your favorite did show speed in that 6 furlongs at Keeneland after being 7th of 9 early on at Gulfstream. Interesting thing to me about it for this horse is Saez rides her 2 times, and now comes in, and we find Saez over on the 8 gray matter. So interesting there. Something to consider for sure. Trying to keep an eye on him here on the track, but let's take a look at really quickly some will pays here from the last race. So in the will pays, the 5 is the lowest in the double pool. Also the lowest in the pick 3 by just a little bit over the 10. The 10 is second in the pick 3. And then the 2 and the 3 are both like right there within a few cents of each other. Looking at the exacta probables right now, 12-5. So even though 5 is a favorite on the board and the 12 is the second favorite in the win pool, in the exacta pool, the 12-5 has a little bit more money. That one's paying $18.55 to 1, and the 5-12 is paying 20 to 1. That's unusual. And not so much. Just somebody playing a little more money that way. All right. We got 56 people watching right now. If you're not familiar, we go through, and normally we take turns, but it's just me tonight. So it's my turn every time. But we'll go through and share how we're going to attack the wagers. You see on the bottom there, starting bankroll, we start with $100. We try to make money every time. We like to say only winners in the lounge. And I am literally betting these exactly like we're betting them here in the lounge. So I'm not just throwing out hypothetical dollars and throwing out something and betting something else. Whatever we say, I'm playing with my own money. Taking a quick look. We still got 2 minutes here. We need to finalize this. So let me see. All right. Here we go. Third race at Churchill. The horses are headed to the gate. And for our first race of the evening, I'm going to play an exacta key box. I'm going to try to get that 6 to be a part. I like that 6. I liked it. When I handicap these races, I go through my daily racing form with all the morning line odds turned off. I don't want that affecting how I look at it. I like the 6 in here. Some of the things I saw, 26 to 1, really kind of cold on the board. That doesn't affect me. I always say that if I like something, I like it a little bit more if I'm getting more money for it. So I never buy that thing about being cold on the board. So this is how I'm playing it. So that's a total of a $12 wager. We've got the 6 over those 3 horses and the 6 under those 3 horses in the exacta. So hopefully we will get something here.
Hello, good sir.
All right, there's my man Sean.
Let the action begin, everybody. Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
we got our first wager in, Sean. We're playing a $2 exacta key box. I really like this 6, so we're going to key the 6 with the horses around it. Got a lukewarm favorite. 5 and 2 has dropped down a little bit, but in a full field of 12 for maidens, we're going to try to catch a 25 to 1 shot, Sean.
I like it. All right. Only winners big in the Lounge, love it.
And even if this one finishes underneath one of those, we'll take that.
Yeah,
At that
absolutely.
price, the exactas are paying pretty well. The lowest in the exacta pool right now is the 12.5, and it's paying 18-1.
Wow. Can't beat that.
Yeah, if we get the 6 on top of our horses, we're talking 156-1, 279-1, and 106-1.
Oh, come on, the Juan Machado.
Let's go, Luan.
Love it.
3 to 5 horse in the last race Sean ran off the board.
Wow.
We are loading up. As you know, if you're a regular, we cannot show the races. So believe me when I say we don't want to call it, but we're going to.
Right.
They are off. And from the inside rail, the 1 showed some early speed. Now the 3 is going to go out just in front of that one by about a length to the outside, about 2 wide, is running game. The 7 down on the inside on the rail is debt free. Your 7-2 favorite. That can't be right. And then outside that one, the 12 is showing some early speed as well. The quarter, pretty fast, 21.93 seconds up front. She wants war, wants a lot of speed here. And in behind her, Lucy McGee starting to tip out a little bit. Everybody else has got work to do, but we are in the stretch, coming down the stretch here. The 3, she wants war, still out front. The 1 is starting to make up ground. The 12 is coming late, but they are not going to get to her. The 12 is going to probably get up for second here. It's gonna
Whoa.
oh, my goodness. She nipped her at the wire.
She
The
got
12
it.
came
Wow.
running late. Something stronger was something stronger.
Wow. What a finish, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez.
I didn't think she was going to catch her, and then she really had a big
Real big burst of energy there. Wow. Something. Albert Stoll and James Graham.
Yeah.
Coming flying. What a bad beat if you had that 3, huh?
Yeah, for sure. And she definitely kind of lost it in the stretch there. And after throwing up those really fast fractions, I mean, she went 21.9 and 21.4 and then 43 and 4. So she was smoking.
Wow.
The finish for 5 furlongs was in 55. So
good Lord, smoking there. Got Marv, we got Curtis, we got Bobby, CB4, Easy Ridge. Kurt said $236 winner at Gulfstream. Uncle Sully, we got Ron Young in the house. Got everybody. I would love to see it. Rick Johnson.
Sure. Todd coming in here saying he had the exacta, but he wasn't here 5 minutes ago telling us what he liked about that 3.
Yeah. Hey, we got Steph Lantier here in the house. How are you, Stephanie? We can do Prairie Meadows. Sully. That's terrible.
I said no. I said I'd rather do dog racing, Sean.
Exactly. There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just talking about, doing Churchill right now and Woodbine, the way that they're running their Thursday cards and everything. So
yeah, that'll be a interesting challenge, After I do know after the King's Plate, they will go back to 450. So for after the King's Plate, that will be back to their normal time.
I'm messing with you, Todd. You've been in here enough to know.
Exactly. Come on, Todd.
Ever take anything I say seriously? So that 2 ended up going off as the 3-1 favorite. Isn't in the top 5. The 5 who was right there at 7-2 went off at 7-2. Who was the favorite for most of the early betting, does get up for 5th, but never a threat.
Never a threat. No.
And the 12 who also was right there taking money the whole time. Jimmy Graham.
Something stronger.
Take a bow.
Something stronger. Was stronger. And then we get the fourth race coming up here. Yep, there we go. I just got back a little late, folks, today. I apologize. There we go.
Yeah, I knew you'd be in here. I just went ahead and got started. I waited till after the second race went official because it was right when we were supposed to go on. I didn't want to come on until it was official.
Yeah. Right here, we got 63 people in here loving it.
So far tonight, we've got Jareth Loveberry winning a race, Luis Saez, and now Jimmy Graham.
Boy, Luis Saez on fire down there.
Yeah. He crushed that field in the second race.
Yeah.
At 6-1.
Wow. Is everybody excited out there for the Preakness weekend? Let us know who you're liking out there. And it looks like another wet weekend possibly in Baltimore.
Yeah, I was looking at the track was like downright muddy today while they were working.
Yeah, it's supposed to continue to rain, so. Todd's got a double going, 12-3 with 12-3. There you go.
I think that's 12-3 with 1, 2, and 3 because there's no
1,
12.
2, 3. Oh, okay.
There's only 7. There's only 7 in this next race.
I was just gonna say, I'm looking. I'm like, okay, this is he's got a special bet I don't know about.
Yeah, because that's exactly how I read it the first time, and I'm like, okay, I think
maybe I'm like 12-3, huh? Exactly. In a field of 7, we got we got the 12.
I think that means he has both the 5 and the 7.
Yeah.
12. Bob Jackson,
Bob Jackson, how are you, my man?
Yes,
Churchill.
Just finishing up race 3. We're going into race 4 coming up. We are official in race 3. If you did have that exacta for $2, $102.60, the 50-cent try paid nicely, $660.
Wow.
If you had that 10-cent super, congratulations on your $1,349. And no one has the super high five, and we have $1,100 in the carryover pool.
Sully, I haven't heard of any scratches yet from the Preakness. No, not yet. No.
I actually checked tonight when I came home, Sean, and looked at the card and looked at everything and all the news, and I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, no.
So El Hombre is hoping to join us a little bit later.
Okay.
Here in the lounge. Formula did check in a little bit earlier, and
he has a dress rehearsal.
He has a rehearsal tonight, so he won't be on.
Okay. So I got a half. Nice job, bud. Well done. What's everybody drinking tonight? I'm drinking my kiwi strawberry. You can tell I literally just got home.
Right now, Sean, here you go. You ready for this? Water.
Curtis predicts Pratt has a big Saturday. He has a lot of big Saturdays.
I saw.
But he could definitely, Curtis.
I saw something today, and I was trying to remember who posted it, but who was it? Oh, Ed DeRosa.
Oh, yeah.
So Ed DeRosa posted it, and I respect his opinions. And
the 2 turns.
We don't always agree, but the thing about IRAD, did you see that?
Yeah, the 2 turns with the over 23. Yeah, around 2 turns. Yeah.
At Pimlico, and he's been on a lot of them. He's ridden, he's ridden quite a few, and he's never won a dirt race at Pimlico around 2 turns.
Yeah. But watch out for Nicky Juarez. He's 21%.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah. We gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for Nicky Juarez. He's 21% around 2 turns.
Yeah, I think if you want to win money, bet on the jockey that has no races.
Yeah,
on the track. Umberto Rispoli.
That's right. And his brother's what, like 25%. Jose's won a lot of races there. So exactly.
Yeah,
So
Jose, I think was actually tops.
yeah, he's tops, exactly. So you gotta respect
Or at
him.
least second. He and
Yeah.
I think Juarez was right
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's enjoying
But
the
yeah,
Romeo.
that was interesting.
Sully is enjoying the Romeo and Juliet at a cigar. There you go. No water in the cocktail lounge. There we go. So we will as we say, we'll just turn the page there. And we will go to race 4. Is it race 4? Right? Am I correct?
It is. Yes.
It is okay. And I'll read the conditions. And I have the Preakness. If anyone wants to talk throughout the Preakness tonight, let us know. We will love to do that. 6 furlongs allowance, 50,000 purse, 83,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of 50,000 or less, which have broken their maiden in a maiden auction race and which have never won other than. There we go. 3-year-olds. And we have a field of 7. And any scratches? I don't think there's any scratches, right?
No.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
There you go.
We'll field of 7.
Very good. There we go. Like it. A very interesting race here. And we got the 1 opening up as 9 to 5 morning line favorite is 4 to 5. But we have some interesting horses who might spoil the party here. And let us know who you like. How many minutes? We got 15 minutes to go, so plenty of time left.
Oh yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
But I had that one, so I can talk a little bit about this one.
Yeah.
Sean.
And what is the track condition, just so I know?
So we're fast.
Fast. Okay,
we're
wonderful.
Fast and firm.
Wonderful. Yep.
The 1 intermittent fast, I think, is going to be pretty tough in here.
Yeah.
And I would definitely love to beat the favorite, but I was hoping for the 9 to 5. I don't like the 4 to 5, maybe a little bit of an underlay. Hopefully some other horses start taking a little money. It's pretty flat across behind that, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But I just think this horse is going to be really tough here. The one question you obviously have to have when you look at this one is whether or not they are ready to come back off of the layoff. Been off since December, but working really well. Look at that 29 April 4 furlong work, 46 and 4. And here's the craziest thing: when you see a 46 and change at Churchill, and normally that's a bullet work. But the interesting thing about it, I went and looked, Sean. So the horse that ran the fastest on that particular work was Multiverse.
Wow.
If that name sounds familiar to anybody, on the Churchill Downs undercard, there was a race that Multiverse was in and just finished behind Patch Adams and Big Trust.
Yes. Right.
Which was an exacta that we gave out on the air if you were watching. Also finished just behind Tapan Street in a maiden special weight early. Finished second to Rolando in the Hutchison. So this horse has been only beaten that Multiverse, that being by a lot of good horses, and is a really strong sprinter. So that being said, that work is really strong says a lot for this one.
Absolutely.
That second in the allowance last time out, I think we can improve over that. If you look at the race at Churchill, does have 2 wins and 3 races over the surface. Okay. And then in 3 races at the distance has those 2 wins and a second at the distance all tracks. So I just think intermittent fast, especially getting Saez up. If I want anybody on my horse up front, this is the guy I want. And
no doubt.
He's riding really well, especially in the absence of Tyler right now. And I just think he's going to be super tough in here. My second pick in this one is the 5 horse, No What Ifs. And and right now 5-1 off of an 8-1 morning line. So we'll see how that one shakes out. But this is one who raced at Keeneland on a sloppy track. I don't think that she liked that slop necessarily. I had Jose that day, was no match for Zadorsky in that race. Second, but almost 10 lengths back. But in the 2 allowance races before that, even with Mitchell Merlup, had a really good race at 6 furlongs. Now coming back at 6 here in Churchill and getting BJ. So if you want anybody that knows their way around the track here at Churchill Downs, this is your guy. And look at the works. 2 straight bullets back on the 17th. Also has a 46-4. And just like I said, normally if you see a 46-4, it's a bullet. It's the best of the day. And that's what No What If said. And then my third pick is the 7 Up the Creek. Getting Vincent Chaminade up. Third off a layoff. You know, that's an angle that I really like. This horse won last time out at Keeneland. Did get claimed out of that race. So Ignacio Correas is going to be training now. Vincent Chaminade getting up. I definitely think it's one to consider underneath. I thought the 7 would be more of a favorite of the 5, Sean, and based on a few things, I like the 5 a little better. But now it seems like the tables have turned, and so does everybody else. So I thought we would get the price, and the 7 would take more money. But I think everybody else is seeing the same thing. And if you're looking, they're actually showing. I'm trying to see here. Flash stat: Vincent Chaminade and Ignacio Correa's combo has won 3 of 4 in the last 30 days for an ROI of $8.90. They just showed this Brisnet stat on the Churchill Downs track feed.
There you go. Okay. Excellent. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, Uncle Sully was asking about that 7. So I did talk about that probably after you posted that. And then I don't know if you heard the stat that I just said, but the connections are pretty hot. This one's third off a layoff and first off the claim. So we'll take a look at this one. They're showing the horse right now. They're also showing Joe and Kevin's picks. Kevin actually has the 7 on top. Joe has 157, exactly like I do. Thanks, Joe. Give everybody my picks.
Yeah. And there's Colin. What's up, Colin?
Colin Sheehan.
How you doing, my man?
The one and only.
Yes, sir. And Hot Rod. Can't wait for summer campaign for older division. Everyone stays healthy. It's going to be a great British Cup Classic. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think this could be a really good year for that entire division.
No, I think so too.
We'll see how it shakes out for the year as the races start to unfold. But
there you go. Perfect. Let me see. Okay. You know what, Tim? Even without them on the track, I'm all ready to go. All right. In this race, I am going to do a $4 exacta key, 1 with the 357. That'll be a $12 play. So I'm just using the 1 on top, has to come in first with the 357. And that's exactly what Rick Johnson is doing. 10 with the 1357 and 1 with 246 with 357. All right, Colin's betting his entire account on Sean's pick. Here we go. Colin's going to be buying me the nicest dinner up in Saratoga with all the money.
That's Colin's way. That's Colin's way of saying he only has $12 in his account.
Yes, exactly. Right. Exactly. But once he triples it, he'll be fine.
We are on the track right now.
Hot Rod's got 1-7 with 137.
I thought he had the 17.
He's got Todd's
You
12.
people got to start using commas. You're killing me.
He's got Todd's 12 too. Is it?
Or at least the space is like. All right. In the exacta pool, Sean, right now, 1-7, 8-1. 873 to 1 right now is your lowest. So 1-7 is the lowest in the exacta pools. And honestly, that's not bad. And I still like the 1-5, and the 1-5 is 10 to 1.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like. That's what I like, you know what I'm saying? But I do like all three underneath, you know? Bobby's got a 6-5 with a 1-3-4. Good luck, Bobby. And remember, Tim and I always say, folks, if you like something that we don't, you stick with your bet. That's what handicapping is all about.
Yeah, the one thing about this show is we're telling you what we're betting. We're not telling you what you should bet.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about what we see in the horses. Take that with a grain of salt if you deem necessary. Remember, it's a pari-mutuel game, and the losing tickets pay the winning tickets. That's how it works.
Did we check the jockey on the 7? Yeah, it's Vincent Chaminade.
Sean's favorite, or Colin's favorite, Vincent Chaminade. Hey, Colin, you must have missed the stat that I just read off.
Yeah, Colin, cancel it so I can win.
They just said Ignacio Correas and Vincent Chaminade have won 3 of 4 races in the last 30 days with an ROI of over $8.
Yep. Exactly.
But Colin doesn't like to bet him.
No, exactly. No, not at all. Nope.
Well, he said that on one horse. I don't remember which one on Derby Day, and he paid for not betting that horse.
Yeah, I know.
Bobby D is going winning place on the 4.
Yeah.
Ben Curtis for Jay Sweezy.
Kent J. Sweezy. So my man down at Keeneland, he's now up at Monmouth for the summer. Had one hell of a Gulfstream meet down there. Kent Sweezy did. He was on fire down there. So let us know who you guys like out there.
93 watching right now, Sean. If you are watching, make sure that you like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Make sure that you like and retweet over on X. And if you are on X, maybe go ahead and click that link over to the YouTube and give us a like. Helps the channel out with getting our video in front of people. We really like that. We picked up we were talking about it on Tuesday Night Lights. El Hombre brought it up, but over the last month with all the Derby content, about 1,000 subscribers just in the last month alone. So we went from 15 to 16,000 pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
3 looks really good on the track.
Looks fabulous on the track. Yep.
4 to 1. Currently
4 Mr. Bose.
Tied with the 5 and the 7 as second favorite. 3, 5, and 7 are all 4 to 1. And the 1 is 7 to 5. So I'm glad we're not getting that 4 to 5 anymore. I think 7 to 5 is a much better price and not the underlay we were getting before.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's pretty fair for this, this race. Man, they just showed the 7. The 7 looks really good too.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody looking on their toes. It's nice to have a nice day out there.
Yeah, the weather was really warm here today. Starting to get a little bit muggy. We got a chance for some thunderstorms to roll through tonight a little bit. They're a little bit significant in the threat of the force they carry, but they're not going to last long. It's a pretty quick and small moving storm, but chance for a little bit of severe weather coming through. But it was hot. It was like record temperature hot today.
Yeah,
close to 90.
Wow. We were basically raining most of the day today up here in Boston.
We got a much bigger chance of storms tomorrow here in Kentucky.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to change up my 5. I don't like my 5. We are washed.
The 5 is washed.
Yeah, really foam me up on the neck. And
Ooh, don't like that at all.
no, don't like it at all.
It is. Yeah.
The
Maybe
7
we'll-
the 7 is my track pick. I really
Yeah.
think the 7 looks good. I still think the 1 wins a race, but
Yeah. Well, we can always change there. Yeah.
no, you're fine. I mean, it's your race. I mean, you do what you want, but
Yeah, no, the 5 did not look right there. Yeah. I may just do a $4 exact. We're gonna change. We're gonna do a
you know
$4.
what? Do the same amount and just do a $6 with
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
with the
$6
3.7.
137. Yep. There you go. One with the 3.7. Yep. That's what we're gonna do.
You know what they say about changing bets, Sean.
I know.
All right, that's what I'm betting.
Getting closer to the gate. Good luck to everyone. See if the Louis Saez show here can continue. Jenny Mack, how are you, my friend? Is that the first lounge bet change ever? No, that has not been the first change ever. Is that gal? We have done it occasionally. Sometimes, like Louisiana, the horse can be fractious, or a horse can,
Well, we've obviously changed when there have been scratches as well. So
Yeah, exactly. And Jenny Mack got a $4 exacta box 1456, and win on the 5 and win place show on the 6. Good luck, Jenny. Kyle Graves, how are you, my man? Got a 7 over the 136.
we are loading up in the gate.
James White's got 127. Good luck.
The 5 going in. That's 4 horses total. There goes the 3. 2 left to load. 6 backing out, being a little stubborn. Now goes in, and just the 7 behind the gate.
Remains.
The 1 is your 7-5 favorite. As they pop the gate and we get them off from the outside, the 7 shows early speed, and now it's just a wall of horses across the track. Down on the inside, the 3 shows early speed, as does the 1 on the rail. The 4, Tennessee Honeybee, is sitting back behind those in third, another length back to the 5. You have the 6 horse sitting just outside that one in 5th. Then it's another 2 lengths back to the 2, and the 7 currently trails the field. But up front, Sweet Scorecard hits a quarter, 20-4.
20.
Flying up front.
There. Flying.
Absolutely flying. And here comes the 4, Tennessee Honeybee, in between horses. Now the 6, Carolina Candy, starting to show a little bit of speed behind that one as we head to the top of the stretch. And Sweet Scorecard is still there. The half, 43-4.
4. Good lordy.
They are absolutely flying. Here comes on the outside. There is that.
I had no idea what Louis is doing with the 1.
And
here comes the 5. Well, he was wet, but he was ready to go.
He was loaded, and that's probably why he was kind of sweating. He was ready to go. Hate that.
But 1 had absolutely nothing.
Did nothing. But you know what it was to me, Sean, is those fractions were crazy stupid.
Yeah.
And you know, the 3 gets out and goes crazy fractions. Jose trying to set a track record.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
And Luis got sucked in. I think he got sucked into a hot pace, and
I think so too. Yeah,
they both just faded.
And nothing left. Yep, absolutely.
They both faded badly.
No what ifs made absolutely no what ifs about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That was huge.
I definitely I love that horse a lot on paper. I mean, that was my second pick.
Great job, my friend.
Didn't like the way that she looked on the track.
Colin, I don't think even if I changed it would have helped. that one wasn't going to be running if exactly.
You know, and that's the second race, the second and the fourth, to where we've seen a big favorite like that, 8-5 in this case, 3-5 in the last one, and they run off the board.
Yeah, exactly.
And the 5 coming home at 5-1.
Dan
Brian
H.
Hernandez Jr., take a bow.
Dan H. says maybe I stick to Evangeline. Woodbine's coming soon, bud. But yeah, that was a that race fell completely apart.
Well, I mean, you know, the one was, I'm not making excuses. The one was coming off a layoff, and we said that's what the question was, and she just wasn't ready to fire.
Yeah, no.
But those fractions, following up those fractions, that didn't help any. Trying to go that fast is just
no, critical. Absolutely.
In the last race at Churchill that she won, she went 22:45, 111. Not even close to what they did here.
We got Luzmiri Ochoa. Never challenge Jenny Mac's expertise. I will not do so, Jenny.
Who won? That would be the 5. The 5 was in first. The 6 was in second, and it was the 7 in third. 5, 6, 7, 3.
5, 6, 7, 3.
Up the Creek was Up the Creek in third.
Yes. Yes.
All right, Sean, this one just went official. We got a couple minutes. I will be right back.
Okay. And Colin, I did not read the story on Gonger's name. I did read the story about Gosger's name, and that was a fascinating story. But I did not read the story about Gonger's name. But if he's, I think he's got a chance there, Gonger. That dude, he's a fast horse. Michael Myers, hello, sir. How are you? I know, I'm only kidding with you. But yeah, Gosger. Brendan Walsh, my boy. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Brendan Walsh, by the way. One of my great friends and one of the best trainers in North America. No doubt about it. So everybody from Trust the Prophets wishes Brendan Walsh a very happy birthday. And let's see here. So maybe he can get a late birthday present with Gosger, who I've always been very, very high on. They've been high on this horse since day one. And this horse ran really impressively in the Lexington. Great race at Gulfstream. The first race was supposed to be too short, and he still almost won against Ain't No Disco, who is a very good horse in himself. So Gosger is young, but the numbers keep getting better, and we'll see. He's got a tough task there, but he's got Luis Saez, and that can definitely be a long shot, especially with the extra time off there. So we'll see. But there's George Peak. How are you, good sir? So yeah, this is an interesting Preakness for sure. This is, I mean, obviously, I think journalism is the definite horse to beat. And if it's muddy, I think it's going to be even better. Yeah, in the Black Eyed Susan, my friend. Yeah, let me go to that right now. As a matter of fact, while we're on that, let's go to that right now, shall we? Let me turn the page here to it. Just days away from the Black Eyed, 1 day away from the Black Eyed Susan, 2 days from the Preakness, 3 weeks away from El Belamonte First Dish. Let's see here, my friends. We'll go to this right now. Black Eyed Susan. Hot Rod will be very happy tomorrow. His boy Encino runs tomorrow at Pimlico. So I'm sure Hot Rod will be watching for sure. And then let's see here. We got Margie's Intention, Running and Gunning. You got Junior with Kinsey Queen. Yeah, Paris Lily. Yeah, exactly. Yep. She's got a City of Light animal. Ran a very nice allowance win there at Keeneland. Exactly. So, but we'll definitely be trying to wing on the lead for sure. Jenny Mack says toss goal oriented. You're welcome. See, Jenny's providing a service here. Toss goal oriented.
I'll add a couple more for you, Jenny. You can toss Sandman. Okay. You can toss Sandman, and you can toss that one wherever you want. And then lastly, Colin, are you listening? You can toss American Promise.
There you go. I'm a little bit more hesitant to toss him in this race than I am the Derby, only because there's the speed will not be as big as it was in the Derby. This guy get a show on here.
Listen, here's the thing. You throw out the Virginia Derby, which is a unique track and a unique surface,
right?
And a horrible field. Okay, you throw out the Virginia Derby and you look at the last 3 races of this horse, other than that one, and he's only been beaten by a total of 60 lengths.
Yeah,
I'll pass on every bit of that.
Yeah.
You know, the horse broke his maiden and won the Virginia Derby. And other than that, this horse hasn't hit the board in the last few races. It's like, just. No, I didn't throw out the 5. Sean threw out the 5. I didn't like that the 5 I really liked was 1.
Yeah. He threw out of his own bet. Exactly right.
I do that too much.
Michael Myers, I have Clever again at 15-1 and Heart of Honor at 53-1. Wow. Colin's money was already burned by American Promise in the Derby. Now he's trying to burn more money.
Yep. If
There's
Colin had listened to me more on Derby Day, he would have won a lot more money.
It's a burning inferno.
Colin, if you want to know how I got a show, go back and watch our broadcast on Derby Day.
And we got a full, nope, the one to scratch. Sorry. So we still got a full field of 9 coming up here, Tim, in the 5th race at Churchill Downs. And I'll read the conditions. Maiden 12-5 for maidens 3-year-olds and up.
You know better, Colin. I've still got a copy of the pics that I sent you guys that morning.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Colin knows I crushed Derby Day.
He did. Yep. Crushed it like a grape. Really did.
Exactly.
In many ways more. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right. So this is an interesting race here, Tim. I know it's your pick, so I will start here.
Let's have it.
The interesting horse to me here, and I'm fascinated by this race, is Baobab, the four, for Sweezy, and Ben Curtis, right? It's an interesting. It's low in the doubles, which I like. Only the 7 is lower, and obviously the 7 has a big shot here. That's my second pick. But interesting. So look at this horse. Starts at a maiden special weight. Comes in third with Martin Schwann on him at 15-1. There's 3 wide, but lacked a winning bid. But then goes to maiden special again and just settled. He's empty in the drive, but again against much better. And then goes to Keeneland in the slop. Gets bet down to the even money favorite and doesn't run at all, but may have not liked the slop. But just going from 110K maidens at Oaklawn to 12.5 at Churchill Downs, if that's not a drop, I don't know what is. But the great thing about Kent Sweezy, a lot of horses that Kent Sweezy trains in, a little background in Kent Sweezy, a lot of the horses that he trains in Kentucky are friends of his mom and dad. And that's why he has some horses in Kentucky. Almost all of his horses would be at Monmouth. But he trains some in Kentucky because they're all owned by his mom and dad's friends. So he still trains them. But the fact that he's this horse is in going from 110 to 110K maiden special at Oaklawn to 12.5. Kent's not afraid to A, lose a horse, or B, put him in where they think he can win. So I think this is at 6-1. I think this 4 is a must use in the exotics because I really think this horse has got a big chance against this group. The second horse I have is the 7 Paved in Gold. If anyone knows the song "The Way" by Fastball, everything's paved in gold. This horse is dropping from 20 to 12.5, making the logical drop. You get a huge change from Colby to Jose Ortiz, which I think is a thing. And I think this horse has run some solid races. I'll throw out the slot race. He was very close last time in the 20,000 drops to a more realistic group to where he can be with his friends. And I think that's going to be a very interesting one. The other one that I did like at a price here was the 10 Winning Song. This horse ran a really competitive, I thought, really rallied strongly versus 20 grand. And now McPeak drops him to the bottom, trying to get a win here. But I thought that was a solid effort. So I thought it's 7-1. That's value. And my third pick will be the 3 Midnight Survivor, Joe Sharp and Louis Saez. Huge drop here, but definitely one that you have to look at. So I was, to repeat here, 4, 7, 10, and 3.
All right, Sean, I don't know if this is good or bad.
Okay.
Because without talking about any of the horses, just literally reading off the top of the form, I'm 4, 7, 10, 3. No exaggeration. If I could share my screen right now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
4, 7, 10, 3. But not only that, we'll wait and hold off a little bit and check out the horses. But I already have a good idea how I even want to play this. So.
That's great. There you go. Amazing.
But the interesting thing to me is the order. I mean, the interesting thing is not the horses
Yeah,
because those seem like the top 4 horses in the
yeah,
race.
yeah,
But the interesting thing is that we both have the same order with the 4 on top.
yeah, right, yeah,
And
yeah.
I really like the 4 here, and I didn't think anybody else would. So
Me too. Yeah, no, the Kent is not afraid to drop into places where he thinks he can win. You
right.
know, and that's part of his mo and his where he's not afraid to drop a horse and win. And if he loses it, so be it. But he'd rather have a horse run and be successful than try to not, than run a horse where he doesn't belong.
Yeah, and I mean if you look, this horse was just claimed last time out from the Brad Cox barn. We know how hot he's been, and they're the ones that dropped the horse down. And I just think that the connections there were not looking, we're not looking at running at that level with this kind of horse. So they put the horse in, and I think you're absolutely right. I don't think the 4 liked the slop that day.
Yeah.
The three is a big favorite in here, and the 4, if it's not for the slop, the 4 was actually the favorite in that race.
Yeah,
But I just don't think like the slop. And now the 3 comes off of that race, having placed in the money, and does have a race since, but having placed in the money in that one, so it's taking more money here. But I just think the 4 having the layoff and the 3 having run back 1 since, the 4 is a little fresher coming in.
Yeah, I also think the 3 may have liked the slop too.
Yeah, because
so.
did much better than the next time
Yeah,
out
yeah,
on the exact same course. Now did step up slightly in level, but didn't run anywhere near the same race.
yeah,
And Jose was on both of those.
yeah. And Bob Jackson's got top picks 4, 6, 10. Bobby D's got win on the 2 and the 6.
Colin, here's the thing, and Colin and I we didn't have a live show on Oaks Day, but Colin and I were online together and we were betting. And yes, we did not have a good day. But Colin, using my picks, I was out of the hole by the second race. I hit a trifecta in the second race. I also had the superfecta in my picks, and then I hit the trifecta in the very next race, and now I was up for the rest of the day. So if you'd have just followed my picks that day, Colin, then I would have gotten you out of the hole. You know what it was, though, Colin? It was the hats. It was the Derby Day hats.
It was the Derby Day hats that got everything going. Absolutely. No doubt.
It was definitely the Derby Day hats.
It was definitely it. Because I came on right with you guys and hit like 2 in a row there at the end,
All right. Where are we at here? Walking around the paddock. Jockeys are getting instructions. We're 8 minutes.
People loving the nice day down there. And there's Kent. Okay. Kent's there.
Yes.
Love to see that.
You know what time it is, Sean?
Yes, sir.
Riders up!
It's always riders up time in the lounge, though.
Yes, it is. Kent J. Sweezy in the house. That's a good sign.
Looking for our friend Caitlin there in the paddock.
I know, yeah. Congratulations to Caitlin. Caitlin's going to be a new mom.
She's going to be a mom. Announced it on Mother's Day. How cool was that?
I know. How cool is that,
And, here's the thing. I didn't say this to Caitlin. I need to tell her. It's like, I see what happened here. This is going to be a Breeders' Cup baby.
Yeah.
Celebrating birthdays every year at the World Championships.
Yeah, I love it. Yep. I love it. There's our buddy Julien Leperoux. Midnight
Luis
Survivor.
Saez.
Man, Ben Curtis, he looks good on the track, too.
Yeah.
Rocket Knight. Trainer David Jacobs.
Christian Torres.
Edgar Morales on Strategist. I love seeing these young kids riding a horseshoe, getting experience, you know? There's Jose Ortiz. Anyone can see the road that they travel is paved in gold. There's Kevin Strike for Tommy Amos. Irving Moncada. Ghost Prince, Anthony Quadralaro. Gabriel Saez. We got the two Saez brothers riding here in the same race. And we got Brian Hernandez became McPeak 6-1.
All right. Let's see what do we have here? We still got 5 minutes. You know what, Sean? We need to give the people lots of time to get to the windows and make sure they have a lot of money.
Yes,
because we're bringing it home. So it's time. Here's what we're doing.
Here we go.
We're going to bet $1 tri-key box, 7 with the 3, 4, 10.
Okay, I like it.
Cost you 18, but we're in this to win it tonight. So
yes, exactly. I like it.
We're keying the 7. We need the 7 in the try anywhere with any of those other 3 horses.
So Tim, when you see this, there's Caitlin.
There she is.
And when you see what do you call it? Those green seats. Are those only for big days? Is that what those are for?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, when you actually look at the ticket availability, most of the seats that you see there, you have the ability to purchase those. And on a normal day, you could purchase it and go there and have the reserved seating. But here's the thing about a normal day: you can get a general admission, and you can probably sit in those seats anyway. Because chances are nobody's sitting there. Now, if somebody comes up and says, "Hey, this is my seat," you just move over to the next box.
Yeah, right. Gotcha. Okay.
And on normal days at Churchill, that's what I do. I just get general admission, but I still go out there and sit in the same seats that you pay money for. So most of the time. Now, if it's a bigger day, and I'm not talking Derby week, obviously that's crazy, but a bigger day, you might need to purchase a seat to make sure that you get one. But there's still plenty of room around there, even on the bigger days outside Derby week.
Okay. Greg Johnson's got 50 to win on the 4. Wow. And a 3, 7, 10 with the 4. Good luck, my friend.
I like the win on the 4. That's where we're
at.
Me
too. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Rick, rooting for my boy Ken Sweezy. But we weren't rooting for the 7 to get right in there with us. Maybe underneath in 3rd. That would be nice. With the 4 and the 10 up on the top of the 7. That would be nice. Bob Jackson's got 4, 6, 10. There's the famous Harley. 2 minutes to race 5. Some of these guys will be heading to Pimlico tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
For the big weekend. There's Jose. 25% around 2 turns at Pimlico. And all those seats there are reserve grants and the green ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So everything that you're seeing right there, those are the ones at the top of the stretch, because if you look, this is 1.125 miles. So the starting gate is down towards the beginning of the stretch there.
Yeah.
So the angle that they were showing there, those seats are the ones at the far end away from the finish line. And the reason everything is empty there is because nobody goes down there. The track is nowhere near full, and there's lots of room down there and 2 decks that you can stand on or stand around or sit down in those boxes there around the finish line. So there's absolutely no reason to go this far down. Now, a lot of times you'll see some of the kids come down here for the start, or some people come down and take pictures and then walk down during the race to get down towards the finish line. But
sure, okay. Yeah. Hey, Rick, how are you? He's on the 6. Good luck.
3-2 currently on the 7. 7 is your favorite.
Going into the gate.
Jenny Mac. Win, place, and show on the 2. And
We are off. And pacing.
So we are positioning as we head down the stretch and across the finish line here for the first time. The 7 takes the early lead from between horses. The 8 up on the outside moves into second as we head into the clubhouse turn down on the rail.
Wow. Everybody going wide.
Yeah, the 3 horses down on the rail cut lots of distance off of everybody else. The 5, Rocket Knight, is currently sitting back in 4th position. Just outside that one is a 6. The 4 down on the rail in 7th. The 9 outside that one. It's further back, about 4 lengths to the 2. And it's another 8 lengths, Sean, back to the 10 horse, currently last. The quarter went 23-4 up front. That's Paved in Gold. Your 8-5 favorite got about 2 lengths over Kevin Strike. The 8 horse on the outside, Midnight Survivor, and Jose Luis down on the inside rail. The 6 horse starting to make up a little bit of ground to the outside. That's Strategist at 37-1, starting to make a move here. Up front, though, Paved in Gold still looks comfortable. Here comes Kevin Strike on the outside. That one's starting to make up a little bit of a ground, but still a length back. Now Midnight Survivor and Jose Luis gets in gear down on the inside rail. Coming up on the outside, that is the 6 still there in 3rd. As we hit the top of the stretch, the 7 is still in 1st, Paved in Gold. The 3 tips off the rail and tries to make up ground. The 7 is asking for more. The 3 looks like he's going to try to catch him. He's got a little momentum. Now the 8, the 3 is going to have to cut down to the inside. He didn't have any room there. The 7 pulls away now from him. It's going to be 7, 3, 8, and 6. 7 much the best. Midnight Survivor 3 and Luis Saez down on the rail gets up for 2nd. But how about Kevin Strike? Kirby Moncada hanging on for 3rd.
Yep. Well, we were close. We were close.
I mean, we had the 7-3. We just didn't get any of our other horses.
I don't know what Ben Curtis was doing with Kent's horse, bringing him back so far. I thought he'd be right up on the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, he was coming late. He was Strategist was moving up for 4th, and he was right with him and starting to make a move, but he was way too far back.
Way too far back. You clearly have to be close here, you know?
Yes. And the 7 that goes gate to wire on the front end at 1.125 miles. Paved in Gold and Jose Luis up front.
Made that one look easy.
Yes, he did. The way Jose's riding today and the way his record was over his brothers at Pimlico, you may want to look at Clever again.
Yes. He is riding with amazing confidence right now. Interesting that he got off of they put Johnny V on Sandman.
Yeah. You know, and if I'm guessing here, Sean, I think Jose might have picked Clever again over Sandman.
He may have, yeah.
He's ridden Clever again in the last 2 races, both
Yes,
at Oakon.
absolutely.
He rode him in his maiden special weight win, and then he rode him back in the Hot Springs Stakes.
And he was ultra impressive too. He was really sharp in that race. And if it's money, it's American Pharaoh, baby. And Asmussen can't win the Derby, but he's won the Preakness 2 times.
Yeah, I definitely think that one's a solid underneath play, at least for me.
Yeah, Rick, I just think the 4 he just didn't get out, and he had too much work to do with that crew. I was expecting him to be a lot further out, you know, than he was.
Yeah, the thing about Clever again, though, Hot Rod, is if you're looking at speed figures in this race, he's the only one that really gets close to journalism.
Yeah.
He's the only other horse in the race that has a triple-digit speed figure. So,
right, exactly.
I think he can definitely hold on for a piece. He's a better speed horse than any of these others.
Yeah,
he may not be alone, but to me, he's speed of the speed. He's much better than goal oriented.
Oh, I agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, but Jose is riding with some real confidence right now. I will say this, Tim, if you're at least Ed gave you some hope if you are an American Promise fan, because Nicky Juarez is 21% around 2 turns at least. At least the man can ride, you know. I read 0 and he's 21%. Yeah, I think Oscar could be live. I like that horse.
Yeah, he's another one that I like with an underneath chance.
Underneath. Underneath. I don't
think he's a win candidate, but he's got to move forward. Even off that Lexington, he's got to move forward.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I do like the Nyquist and Tappet combination. If it's money, you know. Yeah. That definitely one that I would definitely be intrigued by, to say the least.
Interestingly, he hasn't run on an off track, but he is bred to love it.
Yeah, exactly. Fast Canadian. The horse I really like can't get the distance. If this race is a mile, I'd single River Thames. Yeah, I that's kind of the way I think. I think the horse is really good. I just don't know if he's a mile and 3/16 good. You know, if this was a mile and 16th, mile and 8th, I'd have him right there with them. You know, but
totally agree.
This is a mile and 3/16. However, I will say this: if you like Sovereignty, and you liked Burnham Square, well, I am shocked he's going to go in the race at Churchill Downs, but you know.
Yeah, but I just think that, the thing we just said about being a miler is exactly why he finished
Yeah,
second to the both of those horses, because he's never gonna be able to hold a lead in those longer races.
yeah,
And you look at he he broke his maiden in a 6 furlong, and then he comes back in a mile and like wins really well, and but that was an optional claimer, definitely against a much lower class of horses. But this is
sure.
another one, Sean. If you look at the speed figures, he's another one that tends to run the same race every time.
Yeah, every time. Right,
Yeah,
right.
and he's just not good enough to win this race. If Pay Billy wins this race, Curtis, then they are definitely not going to pay Tim. Because I just don't see it. His speed figures have to come up 20 points. It is just like there's no way he competes with a couple of these in here, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But that's why they call it horse racing, and you definitely bet what you think.
right. You never know, right?
That's why they run the races, Sean. If they ran it on paper.
Yeah, who was the horse? Is it Free House Willie or whatever? It was a couple years? He was like the local horse. He hit the board second at like a big, you know.
I'm trying to remember. All right, Sean, you need to turn us around here. We're halfway
We can do that.
our
We
races
can do
on
that.
the card. We got 3 down and 3 to go here. So
Yep, we're gonna bring us right back here. Bring us right back here.
but I've got an angle here. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'll be right back in 1 sec. Okay. Be right.
So we'll take a wait and see approach, and when Sean gets back, we'll talk about this one a little bit. But I think seeing the way the track has been playing so far, the way that I came up with my picks in this one, I like even more. So we'll talk about it here in a second. See what Sean thinks. What about you guys? Any thoughts out there in this race? Anybody got any locks? Who's got the insider info? We had on Tuesday night, doing Tuesday night lights, we had 2 people come in and say, I got insider info on this horse, and both times both of those horses won at a price. So Hot Rod, I look at a couple of things. It's not really the fastest or the fastest time, and it's not necessarily the most impressive looking. To me, I really rate highly, especially I look one thing to see who broke their maiden potentially at those conditions, as far as like the distance and the surface. That plays a big part for me, and then the class. I always rate the classes and say, okay, who has the best class win in their one win, and that angle does pretty well a lot of times. So it's something I look at. It's not obviously no angle's always going to win for you, but I do pretty well with that one. But yeah, it's one kind of race, kind of like maidens a little bit, to where I know a lot of people don't like maiden races, but I love maiden races, and I've cashed in a bunch of maiden races because it's more of a level playing field, so to speak, in that all the horses are very similar in a way. So you try to find the commonality in those that stand out, and to me, that's the way I handicap those particular races. And non-winners of 2 life, and we're not talking non-winners other than, and all the conditions to where some have this and some have that. That's a totally different animal. But just the non-winners of 2 life, meaning every horse in the race has 1 win. I love going through and seeing what that 1 win was. And don't underestimate as well. Even the class is important, but don't underestimate the importance of the win at the distance. I see this a lot, to where maybe a horse, the 1 win was in a really high maiden special weight, but it was 4.5 furlongs, and we're going 1 mile and a 16th. And you have another horse who maybe won a high maiden claimer 100,000 race, but won at 1 mile and a 16th. So in that particular race, I prefer that horse over the strong maiden special weight, because it was at 4.5, and the other horse won at the 1 mile and a 16th distance. And that's a pretty significant distance, difference in distance. So if it's close, if somebody won at 5, we're going 6. If they won at 6, we're going 7. That's close enough. But if there's a big difference to where the maiden win was routing and we're sprinting, or sprinting and we're routing, then I definitely kind of look elsewhere class wise. And maybe that's still the best, but you just have to go across the board.
Sure, absolutely.
Somebody was asking about my non-winners at 2 angle, Sean.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Absolutely.
Hot Rod was talking about it.
Oh, it's a great angle. Quite effective. Quite effective.
I've got something here too, Sean, when we talk about it here in a second, that that I kind of have an idea about. We'll see how it plays out, obviously, but I think we have an angle that might work for us a little bit.
I like it. Is this the 6th race?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. What do you think of Tiffany Twist? Any thoughts, Tim, on Tiffany Twist?
Which horse are we talking about, Sean? Is that in this? Oh, in this race, the 9. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I mean, let me take a quick look, because I didn't have that horse in my top picks. And
is 3 Resilience. Yeah, he's with the great Billy Mott. Yeah. I think he's supposed to come back, I think.
yeah, look, Tiffany Twist is not without a chance in here, and it is going to be coming late. The thing is, and as we're seeing here, the track is really favoring the horses that are more forwardly placed, and I think this one is going to be mid-pack at best. If you look at the early running of this horse across the board, 2 back, the horse was within 2.5 lengths early, but then was badly beaten by 18 in that race. But and that was speed favoring. But if you look at everything else, this horse is like 7 3/4 back, 11 back, 6 back. And I'm not sure that gets it done in here with the way that we see the track plan so far. It's actually the angle that I'm taking in here as we look right now. I hate that definitely slow out of the gate. I hate that the 4 is bet down to 2-1, because I thought we would get a better price on that one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely. 9 minutes to go. Joe's got 6,729 and Kevin's got 6,974. They are both digging the 6.
Well, hopefully that doesn't affect the odds too much.
No, absolutely.
You ready to run through it, Sean, or what do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's funny you say that. So the thing is that the 6 is actually the horse that I've got on top, and I'm just going to say this is that I had the 7 on top initially, and I'm gonna play against that one a little bit.
Yeah.
The reason being that this horse wants to be further back, and seeing how the track is playing right now, I'm going to try to beat that horse. I
Okay.
think that the 6 early on in this race is probably going to be the speed.
Yeah.
And as a result, it's going to be right there with the 4 for sure. I think the 4 might have a little bit more early speed, but I like the tactical position sitting just off of that one in the mile 1 turner. So we'll see if we can get the 6 in front of the 4. I am going to play the 4 underneath in second.
Yeah.
I hate that the 4 is now the favorite. So the 4 and the 7 are both 2 to 1. I thought that the 7 might take a little bit more money in here. So those are the 2 horses I've got underneath. And I mean, you could almost key it, in my opinion, and play the 6 over the 4 and the 7. But I'm going to give you one more at a little bit of a price, Sean. You know, I'm always trying to find the price and who that is.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at the closers in here, it was the one that was just mentioned in the 9. Horse is way too far back, is not going to finish in the top 2 positions, but definitely a horse that you might want to consider in third for a try if anyone out there is playing tries. But up top, I really think that the best 3 horses in here are the ones that we mentioned. It's 6, 4, and 7 for me.
There you go. No love for the 5, huh?
Betty Davis. I mean, dropping down in class, but you know what I always say.
No,
So
no, yeah.
if you look at the last couple of races, I mean,
Show me something. Yeah.
yeah, show me something that says the drop is going to help you.
Yeah.
And you know, you could go 3 back and say, well, in that race we did finish on the board. Yeah, but that's the synthetic at Turfway. And if you look, you do go back to the Churchill race, and this one is 3 for 5 in the money with 2 wins on the Churchill surface. So there's something to be said for that. And in that race, Sean, the horse was in a 50 claimer. So at the level has kind of shown that definitely could perform and could be a part. So I'm just not sure. You have to go back quite a ways, and that one race, that last one was in the slop. So when you're looking, I think this horse likes the wet for sure. But the other races at Churchill were kind of early on. The first 2 races a horse ever ran were both at Churchill, so that accounts for one of the 1 second. But I don't know. I think the horse ran better earlier and hasn't shown much of late, but has the back form if on the drop she can run back to that.
Yeah, and has a good daddy.
Definitely.
So
the Oscar.
Irene had a 6-8, 6-7-8, was also contemplating the 3, and saw Bob was including that one, so I added 3 with the 6-8. There you go. Good luck, my friend.
And the Oscar goes
to Curtis is hoping the journalism is coming back too soon. Exactly.
I don't know. You know, Sean, I go back and I look at the Derby, and journalism ran an okay race, but I've watched it quite a few times now, looking at multiple different horses every time I watch it, you know, to just kind of see, as I like to do, watching races back. But I'm not sure that, look, the stretch run journalism was trying to catch Sovereignty and win, but I'm not sure that that race took too much out of the horse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, call me crazy, but I'm not sure that this horse was all out all around the track and looked like journalism has looked in some of the other races.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
I think when you look at that race and look at the way that that junior tracked him and was like got the jump on him and kind of went around him, I think it kind of surprised him a little bit.
Yeah.
And
No doubt.
I think he was up front and maybe thought that he was going to win like he had been winning and didn't expect Sovereignty to be right there and run by like that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So we got 3 minutes to post.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Colin. His average stride rate hardly dropped throughout the whole race if you check GPS data.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And they were pretty ahead of everybody but Baeza, at the end,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was those two and everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. And like even the people that said that Gambit was close and he was never going to get to either one of those two.
No, it drives me crazy when people say he was interfered with or he wins a race. He was interfered with on his way to last.
Right,
And
right.
I'm not being funny. What I mean is Gambit was always going to be the last horse early on in the race. And he was interfered with while he was settling. He was always going to go to the back of the pack. It doesn't matter that he was interfered early. It didn't hurt him.
Right.
It didn't affect anything. And oh, by the way, Gambit was not catching Baeza.
Right, exactly. Yep, yep.
That horse is going to be really good as well late in the year. I'm just not sure that even late in the year that he's as good as those top two.
Right, exactly. So what are we at right now? $58?
Yes, we've got 58. So we're halfway through and we've used a little less than half of the bankroll. So we got plenty. We're coming back here.
Okay. All right, Tim. I'm betting some with my heart, but I'm also betting. I think we got Mario Gutierrez. Okay. I'm having too much trouble doing exactas and trifectas because I don't like, exactly,
Yep, exactly.
So I'm gonna hit the button. Back in the winning picture here. I hope that my buddy Mario Gutierrez can get the Oscar baby back to running where she was at Churchill. And I'm going to do 4 across in the 5. 6-1, get us back in the picture. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I have a funny feeling that she's going to run back to her. She gets on Churchill and she's a different horse. So I'm hoping this is the day that Mario gets her going.
She's not without a chance in here.
Yeah, and I think her price is good, I could literally use like 6 horses in exacta in this race. I wouldn't even throw the 2 out, to get a piece of it,
Exactly.
We got horses going 6 furlongs to a mile. I don't usually like that move,
Yeah, this is a race that, with the race and the class and the horses and the evenness, I would bet something, something small on just what you really think. Bet with conviction, keep it low. Bet a $2 trifecta key and cost you $4 and take a shot with what you like and your opinion and go from there.
Yeah. They're all moving in to line. Four's got a little bit. Whoa. 4's rambunctious. Great job by the starter.
We are off and racing. Race 6 at Churchill. The 8 from the outside as they head down the chute and ready to get onto the main track.
Whoa.
The 3 is in between horses, the 4 down on the rail as we finally get to the main track here and head down the backstretch. The 4, Pharaoh's Heart, is going to take them to the lead. Goes the first quarter, 23.35 second. Stories Hour, the 3 up outside that one. It's a wall of horses behind that one. You've got the 5, the 6, the 9, and the 8 all in there. It's another 2 back to the 7. The 2 horses behind that one. The 1 trails the field by quite a bit right now. Up front, the half was in 46 flat.
Mario's got some horse here if he can get her.
Story Hour has a lead. Here comes Tiffany Twist on the outside, making a move much earlier than before. The 6 horse is starting to make a move.
Mario, get us out, Mario.
He's looking for space in between horse.
Get us out, Mario.
You can get through, Sean.
Get Betty Davis out. Come on, she loves this track. Come on, girl. Come on, Oscar, baby. You love this track. Come on, girl. Come
Starting
on,
to get into gear.
Come on, Mario.
Here she comes. Here she comes.
Get her in.
The 2 is flying on the outside, though.
Come on.
Go, Mario.
Only winners in the lounge.
Go, Mario. 5-2.
That's my girl.
You know, she's got Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah. It's Ryan Galvin. Hey, buddy. My brain says the 5, heart says the 9.
Good call, Sean.
Thank you, sir. It was one of those things where I said, thank you, Jenny. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Colin. It was one of those things where I said to you, like, I had like 6 exact combinations and I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And remember I said I couldn't even throw out the 2? I wouldn't have put the 2 in my exactest, you know what I'm saying? But I said, Betty loves this track. You know what I'm saying? And I said, if she can just get, and Mario did a great job there. 6-1. Nice price. With the 9-1 second, right?
5-2-3.
5-2-3. All bombs up in the, love it.
And the 9 rounded out the super at 14-1. So all of the favorites were off the board.
Yep, exactly.
The 4, the 6, and the 7 all off the board.
Betty Davis. Oscar, baby. Getting it done. Thank you, Rick.
And the Oscar goes to...
The first horse I owned was trained by Amos. Oh, ridden by Edgar Morales. Oh, there you go. Absolutely, Brian.
The Oscar goes to Mario Gutierrez.
And he's starting to get to learn the Churchill. You know, he's adapting. You know,
it's Mario's world.
It is. Yeah, he was over 21, but he's you got to learn a track for the. I always say for jockeys coming in for the first time, you know, jockeys got to learn a track.
Oh, just admit it, Sean. You just bet Oscar.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm kidding.
No, you know what? People know this all the time. If you've ever seen on Twitter, right? One of my favorite horses in Bailey, who is a starting gate, right? Square Eddie was one of my favorite horses in California. And all the Square Eddie animals were ridden by Mario Gutierrez. So I've always had a huge soft spot for Mario Gutierrez. Winner of 2 derbies, with I'll have another. And
winner, chicken dinner. That'll get us back swinging.
Yes, it will. It's gonna be a nice place back. Yeah. Oscar, baby. Oh, look at that. The crowd was out tonight.
Yeah, and the great thing with the other pools is having all those favorites off the board. So
yep, exactly. Yeah. 6-1.
Yeah, the 7 alone had 12,000 to place and 10,000 in the show pool.
Wow.
Had a third of the show pool almost. little under the fourth, but close enough.
Unofficial. That's a big crowd in that winner's circle.
It is. Somebody was expecting to win.
It's official.
It's official. Let's see how much money we're picking up here, Sean.
We could get 7 in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be nice.
Yeah, look at that. 1484, 656, and $5.
So that is 2641 across for each time, and we've got it twice, so 5282.
There you go.
Add that back into the bankroll.
You got Little Caesars money. Pablo, the 5-horse, Eddie Davis won.
So we are 4 races in, Sean, and after playing 4 races, we're down $1 and 18 cents.
There we go. See? That's how you do it. That's how you do it, my friend.
Ganó el 5. 5, 2, 3. Ganó el 5.
Okay, and we move on to the 7th race, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Allowance 127,000, and what is it, Tim? Non-winners of 1. Exactly. Other than exactly. This is it. And let me see. Do we have any scratches here in this race? Let me see here.
Nope.
No scratches. Okay.
Just all the AEs, but we are 1 through 12.
There you go. Okay. Here we go here. And the favorite is Rojo Rita. That's my grandmother's name, Rita. Frankie Dettori and Savvy Joseph. Interesting race here for sure. Nice purse too, huh? A very nice purse.
Yeah, I mean, with all of the OTB stuff here, you know, the Churchill Downs, it just makes you wonder.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not going to say anymore, Sean. Yeah, we're going 5.5 on the turf. I mean, we did have a 5.5 turf race a little bit earlier, if you remember. I believe that was race 3. I think it was.
Yeah.
On the turf.
Yeah. Interesting that we got 5.5. Yeah. I love an angle in this race.
Well, whenever you're ready, I'll take it. Let me have it.
Okay, here we go. Okay. So we look, and we never know. Tim and I may actually have the same horse, which would be a shock. I'm actually going for a little bit of a value play here in race 1, in race 7, excuse me. And I am on the 1 Satin Blue for Jose Ortiz and Joe Sharp. This horse last time was inside, brushed, right? And that was when, as we all know, Frankie was not riding very good at all. You know what I'm saying? Like at Keeneland, you know? That was a nightmare trip. So you look at his other races here, and at 5.5 furlongs, and he came in second to a horse named Lamorna, who went on to win a couple of stakes races up there in the exactly. And you look at 5.5 furlongs at Keeneland, lost to Cloudwalker, Cabernet, and Copper Drop, who were all three excellent horses. So I think Joe Sharp has got his boy Jose Ortiz up, who they're only 31% together on the year, 20% almost at Churchill Downs. Huge switch back to Jose. I think the pace can be lively enough that he could be sitting right off of Frankie, and I think the 3 and the 4 can ding dong. And if there's a hot enough pace up there, Jose, who rides so well for Joe Sharp, can sit right off and pounce on this group at a square price. So I am 1, followed by the and my next pick was, who was I here? I think this is just going to be an absolute meltdown of a race of like everybody going to the thing. So I had no idea in second. I said, who do I pick in second? And Rojo Rita is obviously trying the turf for the first time, but and I do like the work on the turf. But honestly, Tim, I had a trouble. I actually wrote down, who do I put in second? You know, because there's so much speed in this race. Would you agree?
I mean, there's definitely, I think there are 2 standouts when it comes to the speed, but there are others who definitely have shown early speed, but I don't think they can keep up with the top 2.
Yeah. So I was 1, followed by I put the 3 in second because of Safi's bringing them up, and then 1-6. I was Perfect Figure, Brad Cox, and Florent Giroux. I think this horse could sit right off these guys. Ran a nice race, Indiana. Ran against Me Governor and Anusco. Those are all good horses at Aqueduct. So I was 1, 6, and then 3, and then 10. But the only one I really liked was the 1.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing I remember. So we're going 5.5 furlongs. If you go back to race 3 and remember what happened in that race at 5 furlongs, we're going a half furlong more. But if you remember in that race, that was the race that the 12 came absolutely flying down the lane and basically went from almost last to first.
Yeah.
So I think we have the chance for something similar to happen in this race.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm not exactly sure that we have a horse that has that kind of closing speed. The 12,
right? Yeah.
The 12's something stronger back in that race. I just think is a better closer.
Sure.
And a good closing kick. If there's anybody that's going to close in here, I do agree it's the 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know Joe Sharp and Jose, the 2 of them together are on fire. They're about 31% overall. So they're definitely firing, but I don't know. The thing that concerns me about the 3 is never having been on the turf.
Yeah.
So the turf works are okay, but they don't jump off the page at me. When I look at the 10 horse in here, this is another one that I think wants to be forwardly placed. This one does have a good couple of turf races. And if you look at that last one, we're coming off a layoff, Sean.
Yeah.
But this horse definitely has good speed. And that's actually the horse that I put on top here.
Okay.
And one of the reasons for that is has a good strong speed figure in that race, which is better than what we've seen even with the one horse in here. Better than what that one looks like. I think this horse could get out front. Wesley Ward, we know what he does coming off a layoff. He gets them ready, and then you look at that 30 April work. 46 and 3, bullet
Sure.
work, best of 26. So I think this horse is ready to fire. So I definitely have the 10 on top. I do like the one underneath that one. And then I have questions about the 3. I think you have to maybe add the 3 underneath in third just to be sure. But the one that I had next as well without the questions was the 6. And that's one that you were talking about a little bit there. And I do think that this horse is going to prefer the 5.5. Went 6 furlongs last time out, 6.5 before that on the synthetic. But the debut was at 5 when she broke her maiden.
Right.
So I definitely think she's going to prefer this distance quite a bit. So she's going to be forwardly placed. I just don't think she has the speed of the other horses in here. So she's more of an underneath play. But I really like those top 2. And we'll watch it and take a look here and see how we're going to play it here. But I've got some thoughts and ideas. We'll take a look at the horses that they come out. But I really love that the 3 right now is the 9-5 favorite, because I am not betting the 3 on top.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Although I just look, Kevin's got the 3 first, and Joe is putting the 3 second. He's got the 3 second.
Yeah.
So they both like the 3. I get it, but I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. What's up, Paul Nolan from across the pond?
Hey, Paul. What's up, my man? How are you? Paul's getting ready for his big was it York? Big York meet this weekend over there or across the pond. I think it's the big York meet. Bobby D's got a exacta box 6189. Jen was born at night, but not last night, baby.
I like it, Jim.
I'm in it to win it. Bob's top picks are 1, 9, and 11.
Wow, that is some bombs. The 9 is 32 to 1, and the 11 is 79 to 1.
Yeah, there you go.
Good luck with that one if you get it.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You can get that one home.
Paul said, yeah, York was on Wednesday to Friday. Hard to win at, but top class racing.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. I knew York was going on. Yep. It's an interesting thing, by the way. I'll just quickly say this to the people. People always ask, like, okay, they're like, Sean, why does Europe always run on the turf and we don't? The difference is they have a whole bunch of short meets. Like York is a 3-day meet, right? So they only have 3 days. So they're going to run, because if they don't run, they don't have a meet. You know what I'm saying? So they will run so much more on the turf over there, where if you over here, your meets are months. They're not weeks. You know what I'm saying? Where Europe has like 10 different places where there's short meets, and that's why they run more on turf than not, because they're short meets. Don't overthink it. 3 will lead at the quarter and get this rail and coast. Okay, Ed. How are you, Ed? Good luck, my friend. Going wire to wire, he's calling.
We are riders up and headed out to the track. Taking a quick look here.
Six is good. No Brad. The famous Wesley Award colors.
Looks good.
And the Godolphin blue. We got Dallas Stewart there. Oh, the one's a gray. There you go. Looks good on the track. Laurie's Secret. Dallas Stewart and Julien Leparoux. Frankie Dettori on Rojo Rita. Elegant. Luis Saez and Rodolphe Brissett. Rafael Bejarano. Six looks pretty good on the track.
Yeah, that's one that's got me a little concerned as I'm looking to figure out what to do here. So
Yeah. Stellar asset. Well, you definitely think Flo will be sitting off. I don't think he'll be on the, I would think Ben Curtis. And Hidden Gem. Albert Stahl has already won one race tonight, right? Yeah, Albert Stahl won earlier. 10, Blackfoot Daisy. Geraldo Corrales. Looking good out there. 11, Cotilliard is on his toes today, 68-1. And the 12 for Godolphin and Brendan Walsh, 7-2. Not crazy about the post.
all right, Sean, I think we got this here.
All right, let's get.
I'm sticking with my guns here and what I said initially. So I'm not going to back off of it. I'm going to play the 10 and I'm going to key the 10 key box. So 10 with the 136.
Love it. There you go.
Three of those four horses, as long as the 10's apart, we don't care what.
I like that play. I like that play.
And that'll be 18.
Yeah, I like that play. We have one race to go, right? Nobody really looking bad in the group.
No.
Rex has got a 4-6-12 exacta box. Good luck, Rex.
One more race after this one tonight.
Yes, sir.
Be a fairly early night compared to our Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I know. Jeez, exactly. Good Lord.
Hey, speaking of which, if you're in the lounge and you weren't with us on Tuesday, we are now back at Assiniboia Downs for Tuesday
Yes.
night lights every Tuesday night. We
Yep.
don't come on until about 8:30 Eastern time because they're on Central and they run their races at night. But if you've never played Assiniboia, come check it out.
Yep.
Try the races with us. Really cool track. Great incentives. Great wagering from a takeout perspective. They lowered their takeout pretty much across the board this year. So really great track to wager on. And the fun thing about Assiniboia is the horses run back pretty quickly. Not a lot of horses moving in and moving out. It's a pretty small colony and a lot of fun because you get to know the horses week in and week out as they run back. So makes it even easier to kind of handicap and wager, but a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. Join us for Tuesday night lights at Assiniboia Downs.
Yes, indeed. Horses are beginning to get towards the post here with a minute to go.
Yeah, Ed, it's a tricky one. You got to be careful.
Todd has got a 12 over the 3-10-6 try key, 50 cent. Good luck, my man. Bobby's got win on the 4. They're now heading towards the gate here. One minute to post.
Loading them up for race 7 at Churchill Downs.
What do we think this Tim will be? 19-4, or do we?
Good grief, the way they're going tonight. 20 flat to the quarter.
Exactly. Some race at Gulfstream today at 20-1, 43 flat. I was like, good Lord.
They're in the gate. Minus a 2. Couple more to go.
There goes a 6 right in.
Now we're in the gate.
And we got Brendan
12 coming in, and that's it.
They're off.
Pretty even break across the track from the middle of the 3 horse. There's the speed that everybody thought would be there. The 7 sits just off that one. The 12 from the far outside is sitting in 3rd. The 4 just inside that one. The 6 is behind those in between horses. Then you have the 10 starting to make up some room on the outside, trying to circle horses here. It's the 3 up front. They are flying early on.
22 flat.
But as we head to the top of the stretch here, the 3 horses still right there. The 10's got work to do on the outside. The 7 is right there in 2nd right now. The 10 is fading. The 12 is starting to come on. The 7 is there. Here comes the 1 flying up late.
Here
Look
comes the 1 flying like
race. Exactly what we said, Sean, that this is what happened in the other race.
Yep.
1, 3, and there's the 6.
Yep.
So we have the 1, 3, 6, but we keyed the wrong damn horse.
Yep.
Oh,
I know. I love the way that race set up for the one.
Well, that's exactly
Yeah.
what we talked about. You know,
Yeah.
I wondered about the speed being too much speed,
Yeah.
but it was exactly what we said from the previous race. It's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah. And Irad did really well to keep second. The three really did run a big race. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Frankie,
Oh, and Frankie. I'm sorry. Frankie did run a really big race. I'm sorry. Yeah,
yeah,
Frankie did really run a big race there with that three. You know.
Jenny, he's all right. He's okay.
Yeah.
He's just killing it right now. I mean, absolutely killing it. I would say, you know, if you look from Fairgrounds to Keeneland to Churchill in that time frame, nobody's riding better than Jose.
No, no, I agree, Jenny. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like you mean the way Jose's riding right now? I mean, and as Tim said, the stats don't lie. I'm not saying his horse is the best horse in the race. Jose's 25% around 2 turns at Pimlico. I'm just saying, you know, you at least have to maybe consider him underneath. You know,
That absolutely crushes me, Sean, that we had the horses and Keith the wrong one.
I know. Yeah, no, that one really made some ground.
Friggin'
I agree, Jenny. I agree, Jenny. That was a huge move.
Luis ganó el uno.
Yeah, for both, for both,
Uno, tres, seis. Uno, tres, seis.
yeah, not only for Jose but for Taylor as well. You know, to get down there. She's a little closer to what do you call it? What do you call it? But for Taylor too, she's in Churchill, but she can get home to Presque Isle where her family runs the track, and it's not that far. So so for her, it was a great move as well. So they were closer to that family as well. Yeah, no, that was great handicapping by Tim. You know, and sometimes you just key the wrong horse. That's horse racing. But Tim had all 3 of those horses, 1, 3, and 6.
Just bet it the wrong way. Hey, Sean, I got to let my dog out real quick.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, and that's the and also too, and this is a big thing. Like on our show, we try to do bets that are to keep the show so that you're going and you still have money for the last race. You know, which is important. You know, I mean, like we could all like box like 4 or 5 horses every race, and then we're great when we win, and you know what I'm saying. But we're trying to keep it on the relatives so that we can keep going. You know, to get from race 1 to race 8 with money still in the pocket. So so we won't tell Tim. I did have the one across there, so I actually didn't win that one, but that's okay. But no, but Tim handicapped it perfectly. Just had the wrong key, and then a lot of people had the 10, so he wasn't alone on that. You know, so. But yeah, but we move on to the 8th and final race, 7 furlongs, maiden 50,000 for maidens 3-year-olds and up, 3-year-olds. And I think, do we have any scratches in this race? Let's see here for you. Let's see. Yes, we have the 2 weekend and the 8. The 2 and the 8 and the 14 are out. And if anyone had that exact, folks, 136, 50-cent try, 73.92. The double 5-1, 49.89. And I did have the double, but we're not saying anything. Betty Davis and Joe and Jose Ortiz, and 10-cent super 136.12, which was highly hittable, 98.32. That's amazing with those 4. Unbelievable. 50-cent pick 3, 751. My grandfather's number is $77.54. But we move on to the 8th and final race. To a $10 win place and show in the last race. So, well, I do like a horse here. I just got to see what the price is, because I do like a horse in this last race. Let me see. Here we go. Okay. Let's see what my odds are here. See. But I do very much like a horse in this last race. And I can't believe the odds that I'm getting right now. Because I very much like this horse. So we'll see when Tim comes back here. Let's see here. And thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. 165 on the thing. Todd likes the 12. Okay, there you go. All right. Let me see here. Okay. Let's see. And we're looking at exactly. So how many minutes do we have to post here? Yeah, we got 18 minutes to post. Interesting field. And the favorite right now is the always hot duo of Luis Saez and Michael J. Maker at 8-5 off of a 9-2 morning line. Again, formerly trained by Todd Pletcher. 2 second place finishes in the 2 second ID and Mr. Peaks. Now, the interesting thing is about this horse, and I find this interesting. This horse hasn't run since 2023. I know Michael Maker is very good at bringing horses back off the layoff, but this is a tall ask. And it has been working pretty steadily, but that's a tall ask, bringing this horse back, and awful patient people. And after 2 years, you're bringing him back for a tag, which to me is the way Michael Maker wins. But at 8-5, I'm not digging that at all. We'll talk about it when Tim gets back. Okay, yeah. So we'll before our last race, give me a top 3. If you have a top 3 in the Preakness, what do you think your top 3 would be? I'm right now, the way I'm looking at the race is should be an interesting race. I know a lot of people. It's interesting. The Goal Oriented did win at the. It was in the slot, but it was at Churchill. But it was a very nice race. He's got 291 buyers, but I just think that journalism is just too tough for this group. He's in this own class of horses.
Agreed.
And then use some horses underneath. TM likes River Thames. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I will say this, and I said this the other day to a couple of friends. If you believe that the Florida races were strong, which I believe they were, you had Sovereignty who won. You had Burnham Square, who was very solid in Florida and got absolutely sawed off in the Derby, and probably would have been right there had he not, And if you like them, River Thames was only got beat by Sovereignty, by a nose. So I'm saying, so if you do go on that, if you think it can move forward, that would not be the worst play underneath. I'm not saying River Thames is going to win. I'm just saying, but
Yeah, I just think it's 2869. I like
yeah,
journalism over Clever Again, over River Thames, over Gosger.
yeah, no, exactly. And definitely, we know that Clever Again. If you do like him, the wise guy's horse, American Pharaoh, love that mud.
I just the horse I don't know what to do with his Heart of Honor, and I can't get behind the horse. I get what people are saying and everything, but this horse finished second to Admire Daytona, who was nowhere to be found in the Derby.
Yeah, right. I still think he may scratch. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's too muddy, his trainers may just say, we tried, didn't work. Move on. But we are, okay, Tim. So I'll read the conditions again here for the last race. And in the last race here at Churchill Downs is 7 furlongs, maiden 50,000 per 67,000 for maidens 3-year-olds and up. 3-year-olds 118, older 124. Tim, what was your top 3 here, my friend?
I like Shadow Coast, the one.
Yeah.
I just think 7 furlongs, probably from the rail. BJ should send, and this horse has the speed to potentially hold it and get on the rail and just keep going, which is what I'm hoping happens here. But it's fairly wide open to me. A horse that I think is probably going to set just off the pace and potentially get a shot at is Nyquist Frequency, the 10 horse.
Yeah.
Getting Jaime Torres up. Has a really good work back on the 8th of May. So looks ready to go. Third off the layoff coming in to Churchill Downs. Does have a second in 3 races at Churchill. So I'm a sucker for a horse going third off the layoff to improve and be right there. So I'm definitely going to give the 10 a shot. And after those, I think you could probably go a whole bunch of different ways with everybody else. But I'll give you one that I think might be a little bit of a price here. Let me look where we are right now. Oh yeah, we're getting a lot of a price here.
Mm-hmm.
So never mind. Am I looking at something wrong here, Sean? Did they just scratch the 8?
No, the 8 was scratched before the race.
Oh,
yeah.
I see why my thing wasn't updated here. My phone wasn't updated on that page, but everything else was. That was weird. Okay, so that one did scratch out. So I still think we've got an opportunity here. Not as much of a price, but from the outside, the 12 horse.
Yep.
Tapaquina. This is one. Irving Moncada, another third off. Second race at Churchill. Since dropping down, there was some improvement, Sean, when we dropped from the maiden special weight to the 50,000 ranks. So we're staying at that level. So I think they think that this horse fits. And definitely, and this was before the last race, but that was a really strong 5 furlong work back on the 20th of April. And then the horse comes out and didn't really do much in that. But if you go back, that horse was bumped in the race. And I think that they just kind of took back and ran even. Moncada repeats. So Brian, there was nothing that happened in the race that Brian Lynch thought that he did. And he's already got a couple of good rides tonight. So he can definitely be there for a piece. So I'll go with those 3, 1, 10, and 12.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, solid, solid. Yeah, absolutely solid. That's very the way I saw this race very much as well. Throw that last maiden special weight out there for Nyquist, remain the back one. But I absolutely, yeah.
I thought the 10 would be the favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat the 10 with the 1. I don't get the 3 being 2 to 1.
Yeah, I think it's Maker and Saez
Yeah,
driving that train,
but I mean, this horse is coming off of a almost 2-year layoff.
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah,
So either he's like really ready 2 years later at 6 years old to break his maiden.
yeah. You know what?
I'm with with that, I just have to let that horse beat me, Sean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what are we at right now? We're at
What, money wise?
yeah.
Oh, $80. We got all
80.
kinds.
Okay.
Bet what you want, make us big winners.
Yeah.
I think the 1 to me is really an overlay at 8 to 1.
Yeah. I am actually alive here to a pick 3
To which horse?
to the 12, Tabacana. I think this horse last race. Watch that last race. Got absolutely creamed. I mean, they got shut off, got everything, and still came running. And Moncada's just growing with confidence every day. He kind of reminds me of what Lawan did. He had a great turfway. He's getting confident now in himself. And I think it's starting to show here at Churchill. And I think this horse at 5 to 1 is extreme value.
Yeah, I definitely like the horse. I had it as more of an underneath play, but I could see this horse winning. I think this race is a lot more wide open than you would think, and that's what I said about that last race. You can basically throw it out. I don't think that after Moncada got creamed, I think he just kind of ran evenly past some
Sure.
target.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, no, yeah, watch that. And that's what I said. We'll save it for another day, And then she comes right
horses,
back.
but he really didn't make up any links on the leaders.
Right, exactly. Yep, yep. And I think Lynchy's coming right back here. See how he looks on the track here. They're all coming out onto the track.
I want to see the 10 as well.
Yep. Oh, we got Nicholas. Nicholas is looking good there and is okay. We got Nicholas saddling him tonight.
Yeah.
Brian's son. There you go.
He looks like he's dressed up for a photo.
Yeah, looking sharp. Exactly. Yep. He said, Nicholas said, hey, Spin's alive to the pick 3. We got to help our man. Nicholas is great. Lynchy's one of my favorite guys. Delta 2. I think this is just way too much to ask for this horse off 2 years. And,
I do too. And that's why I didn't even put the horse in there.
Yeah. And if he beats me, he beats me. But I'm not going to go that way.
My exact stance. It's like, okay, I'll just let him beat me because I don't want any part of 2 to 1 off a 2-year layoff.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
Not in a big field of maidens like this. I'll pass. Nash Potatoes. Gotta like that name. I like the way the 10 looks, Sean.
Yeah, it looks very good. Yeah, Jordan Blair. The thing I didn't, which was interesting, he was up against much tougher, in his last race, and they bet him, but I just didn't like the fact how far back he was, after that big thing,
Yeah.
That's what worries me a little bit about him. 5 minutes to go. 12 look good. He's got Harley's little brother bringing him out. Look very live on the track. I'm not digging that 3 at all.
No. I think if everybody out there, if you got a horse you like in here, just bet.
Yeah.
Bet your horse, because you can get a price, especially if you don't like the 3.
Yeah.
If you don't like the 3 on top in here, I would just bet some win place money on your horse and go home happy.
Yeah. There you go. And what are we at? 80 right now?
Yeah. That's like 40 win place, Sean.
Yeah. Yep. Lock it in, Tim. I'm ready.
Let's do it. I like it.
I'm going to go 20 to win in place on the 12th. I really think this horse with a clear trip can really just beat this group handily and bring home my pick 3.
There it is.
Brian Lynch. Irving Moncada.
Text him real quick, Sean, and tell him you need this in the pick 3.
Exactly. I'll just message Nicholas and say, hey, don't make me look stupid. By the way, I have never seen in my life a group that was more excited than coming 5th in the Derby than the Lynches and the owner group for Owen Almighty. That was amazing, Curtis Stinnett got 10. Is that 10-3-1? 10-31. We got 31 horses in there. We got 10-3-1 with 10-3-1-9-12 with 10-3-1-9-12. Yep. Good luck, Curtis. Bring it home, bud. Bob Jackson's top picks are 7, 10, 12. You like the 12 too, Bob? Let's get it. There you go, Jenny. Who do you like in this one, my friend? Bobby likes the win on the 1 in the exacta box 12, 1, 3, 10. Todd's going Candy Ride over Pioneer in here. Thank you to everybody joining us tonight. Over 169 tonight. Thank you for joining us on a Thursday night, as always.
Let's bring it home.
If the 5, 9, or 11 wins, someone gets a full payout of the Derby City 6 for $256,000. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
The 5, 9, or who?
Huh?
5, 9, or who?
5, 9, or 11. If they win this race, then someone is bringing the Derby City 6 home all by themselves.
I thought that 11 was actually a little bit interesting. First time starter in against these, has some good works. Cherie DeVoe, getting Christian Torres up.
Yeah.
I love Cherie DeVoe, but Christian Torres is just, I loved that guy last year.
Yeah.
He rode really well at Oakland. This year he's just been off, although he does have 3 wins and 19 starts, so not as bad this year as last year. But
no, remember the one day, what was it, like Christian Torres and Sherry DeVoe won, like it was like at Ellis or somewhere, they won like 4 or 5 races together. They just, Christian Torres just kept bringing in everything, The field is getting to the starting gate. Jenny Max got an exacta box 4, 6, 9, 13, winning the 4 and across from 13. Good luck, my friend. Dan H has got winning place on the 1. Tim likes that horse.
I do like that one.
And I agree with you, Tim, an overlay for sure. 5-1 coming down though. Getting some late play.
Good luck to everyone.
Yep. Got the 9 going up
as we load them up. 8,000 in the super high 5 pool.
I think every track should have double loading. Six going in, the 11 balking a little bit in the Will Farish colors, famous Will Farish colors. $12 going right up like a pro. And the 13. And they're off.
12 got a good break from the outside. As we come out of the chute, headed towards the main track here, the 1 down on the inside is going to take them onto the main track with the lead. The 5 Showmaster is going to be sitting just outside. In behind those is Gallo de Fuego, the 9 horse sitting in 3rd. The 10 sits just outside that one. Down on the inside, the 6 makes up a little bit of ground. In behind that one is kind of a wall of horses with, it looks like the 11 and the 2. 11 and the 13 trail in the field. 11 and the 13 trail in the field. Yeah. 22 and 2 up
We're
front.
Flying today.
The 1 is definitely flying. Showmaster, the 12, starting to get into gear a little bit on the outside. Although Shadow Coast is sticking right there. They went to the half, 44 and 4.
44. We are flying.
Frequency. Nyquist Frequency starting to make that move on the outside.
Our 12's not doing too much right now.
No. It's the 1 down on the rail, the outside, the 5 in behind those, the 5 in between horses, the 10's making a move on the outside, the 6 looking for room, the 1's fighting back inside. It's all these horses. The 9
coming look at this.
Is up front.
Calorie charge.
5.
Inside horse. Who was that? The 5?
5-1, I think. 5-10.
Wow. Showmaster. Georgie Arnold.
Edgar Morales for Rusty Arnold.
First time gelding.
Yep.
We needed that 12 to get out better out of the gate, and he just.
Who was that came really late for 3rd?
Let me see here. We have the 5. We have the 10.
There's a horse coming on the outside. 13.
That's 13. 13. Yeah, 16-1.
The 13 is going to get 3rd. So it's going to be 5, 10, 13.
Someone just hit by himself or herself the Derby 6 for $256,000 photo right there. That is impressive.
Definitely. Somebody took it down. I don't like jackpot wagers.
No, wow. Very impressive.
Not one of our finer nights, Sean.
No. Churchill's a tough track,
I love the 10. I had the 10 for sure, but
no. Nope. He's right there. And just got beaten. That 13 came flying.
Yeah, there's no way I would have had the 13 though.
No. Axeman. No, and look at the 12. We got bet all the way down to 3-1. So
Yeah,
somebody
definitely took a lot of money.
Yeah.
Jenny said she loved the 13.
Yeah. Jenny had the 13 across. Yeah, no, it was really coming, Jenny.
Number 5.
Like
First, number 10, Nyquist frequency. Second, 13, Bo Jackson. Third, 9.
that was close. She was flying. Yeah, no, absolutely. The Axeman was coming down there. Pretty. Axel was definitely coming down. I wonder how the Axel feels that there's a person named the Axeman.
Axel's like, how does he get the Axeman?
Yeah, how does he get the Axeman when I'm at an actual axe?
I'm the Axeman.
How dare you do this to
At least
me?
he's not Kramer from Seinfeld.
No, exactly.
He wasn't the Axeman.
No, exactly.
He was the ass man.
Crazy. Is it official now? Both Matt Carruthers and Simon Bray were on the 5. Wow, nice. Great pick by both of them. That's going to pay mighty nice.
Yes.
I really thought that I thought the 12 was going to get out good, and I don't know who would bet that 3.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Sean. I was waiting for you to go, and it was just like, how do you bet the 3? And look, the 3 is not even anywhere near. How do you bet that horse at 5-2 in a maiden race off a 2-year layoff?
Yeah, exactly. With okay works. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. No, Vince Watson, always a pleasure, my friend. Jenny Mac, thank you as always. Irene, thanks for joining in with us, my friend. We got Todd, as always. Thank you, my man. Kyle. We got Danny H., my man. Rick Johnson, always thank you. Curtis. Love having you all each week. You make the show, my friends. Marv Beatty, always TM.
And don't forget, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Today's video is brought to you by Assiniboia Downs Gaming and Event Center. And be sure to tune into this channel live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern for Monday Night Lights.
Thank you, George, as always, my man.
Tuesday.
Yes. Bobby D, thank you. George Peak, have an awesome weekend, my friend. Good luck this weekend. And see you all at ASD, and it's Preakness weekend. Get ready.
See you. Good night.